I've just finished hiking the Camino Frances from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in France to Santiago de Compostela in northwest Spain. I then went on to walk the Camino Finisterre. I did loads of research on YouTube, and I also spoke to people who had completed Caminos to find out how I could prepare for my journey. Yet there were still many things that I was totally unprepared for. Here are 10 things that nobody tells you about hiking the Camino Frances, and let's hope that these tips will help you on your journey. If you've already completed a Camino and you can think of any additional things that you were unprepared for, please do share them in the comments below, as I would love to read them, and I'm sure it will help out other first-time pilgrims who are preparing to set out on their Camino. Also, please do stay tuned to the end, because I've left an unexpected yet particularly good to know tip until last, and I want you to be forewarned and therefore forearmed. I'm obviously relating my experiences from hiking the Camino Frances and also the Camino Finisterre, but they could equally apply to other Camino routes. Okay, let's go. Number 1. You are not the only one who doesn't know what they're doing on this pilgrimage. At the beginning at Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, most of us are first timers and just figuring out how to be pilgrims, and that's totally okay. I would say just enjoy figuring it out in the company of others who feel the exact same way. It's all part of the process that you go through. Number 2. You will probably face quite a few of your fears during the pilgrimage. Some of them may be irrational fears left over from childhood, others may be totally justified and expected. A couple of my Camino fears were encountering bedbugs and graveyards at night. Both of these fears I did hit head on, but what I would say is that you do have to deal with it, you overcome it, and then you get to move on. As an illustration though, I'll give an example from someone else. So I did meet a guy who had a childhood fear about dark forests after reading Hansel and Gretel. He set off from Ocebrero early in the morning before it was light, and he decided to take the alternate route into the forest. He got into the forest and he was completely by himself, and it was totally dark, and these childhood fears just all came back. So he did turn around and go back to Ocebrero and join the main route where there were other pilgrims. Number 3, you may assume it's peaceful and you're going to have loads of time alone. There definitely are times that you will be alone, and you can choose to walk by yourself much of the time or set off early in the morning to enjoy the sunrise alone, etc. If you're on a popular route such as the Camino Frances with relatively large numbers of pilgrims, people will regularly engage in conversation with you. If you're sleeping in dorms, you'll be sharing the same communal space as many others. There are also communal meals in many of the hostels, and some of the hostels or albergues even facilitate and encourage introductions and conversation, such as those at Orison and Border in the Pyrenees, and also some of the parochial donativo or donation-based albergues along the route. Even while walking on the trail, people will come up and walk alongside you and start up a conversation with you. So if spending time alone on the trail is a real priority for you, it may be better to choose a quieter route than the Camino Frances. Number 4, conversely, you may assume that you're going to make loads of friends and fall into a Camino family. You will make friends, and you may fall into a group of friends who become your family throughout the trail. But it's more likely that you won't be with them all of the time. You'll probably find yourself in different groups of people at different times for different reasons. For example, somebody just walks faster than you, or someone gets injured and ends up staying somewhere for a couple of nights. I did meet up with people at the beginning, and I would say they were kind of my Camino family, but we were pretty independent and we didn't stick with each other all of the time. Yet we remained in touch by WhatsApp and encouraged each other, and we also intentionally made plans to meet up at various intervals or catch up with each other, etc., if this was possible. Number 5. Wine, beer and coffee are all part of the daily culture on the Camino. If you struggle with alcohol, especially if it's so freely on offer, for example during pilgrim meals, you may wish to consider a different trail because there will be lots of temptation. Number 6. You lose track of what day it is. This becomes important if you need to buy something when you reach a town. If it's a Sunday, the shops will likely be closed, so you do need to plan accordingly. Number 7, your confidence about walking distance changes. You start automatically translating kilometres into time. For example, if you're thinking, what is 4 kilometres? At the beginning, you will just be thinking that as a number. By the end, you'll be estimating that in time. It's like 4 kilometres, that's 1 hour, and you can work out how long it's going to take you to get somewhere. Your confidence also grows because, for example, at the end when you reach Santiago de Compostela, you go past the airport on the way in. It's 10 kilometres before the centre. I met several pilgrims at the end of the hike. I was saying, oh, how are you getting to the airport? And it was just natural for them to turn around and say, it's 10 kilometres away, I'll hike. So you may not normally do that at home. That kind of thing changes as your body just adapts to the walking. Number 8. Simple painkillers like paracetamol, or in the USA, acetaminophen, and ibuprofen are available only in pharmacies where they are not cheap. You can buy most necessities on the trail, and some things will seem really cheap while other things will seem unexpectedly expensive, like painkillers. Number 9A. Prepare yourself for the question, why are you walking the Camino? You're going to be asked this so many times. And if you feel uncomfortable sharing your deep answer with a stranger and it's going to provoke some anxiety for you, be prepared with an answer to give to that big question. Number 9B. You're not necessarily going to have your life answer at the end of the trail. So if you're going with a big life question and you're looking for the answer at the end of the trail, you may not have it, but you will go home with new confidence and new perspectives on your situation. Okay, number 10. This is the big one that I told you to stay till the end for because it's quite important but very unexpected. The lights in hallways and bathrooms on the Camino are often either on a timer or they are motion activated. So this can cause some problems. For example, if you're sleeping in a dorm in an albergue and you open the door, the light will come on in the hallway and it will be glaring into the room. If you struggle during the night and that is going to wake you up, make sure you've got an eye mask or something to block out the light in this scenario. The other time when it becomes a problem is if you're using a bathroom, for example, in a cafe on the route, and you're sitting on the toilet and the light goes out. Sometimes you're waving your arms around like this to get the light back on again, but if it's not on a motion sensor and you can't reach the switch or you don't know where the switch is, maybe be prepared and have a torch or your phone with you so you can figure out what to do next.